What's up, creative fan? Today we're going to talk about the biggest mistakes made by entrepreneurs when dealing with investors, sponsorship, partnerships, and most importantly, their babies, their brainchilds, their creations, their business. And I wanted to share this because some mistakes are too expensive. And one of those that we could learn from is from one of my favorites, Kanye West, right?
Here, why are you terminating this deal with Gap?
It was always a dream of mine, bring the best product possible. There's always like struggles and back and forth when you're trying to build something new and integrate teams. Didn't price my stuff at like 200 and above their whole price point normally. And they just ignored us about building stores constantly, and it was very frustrating. It was very disheartening because I just put everything I had. I put, all of my top relationships. I went and got them.
Biggest mistakes made by entrepreneurs when dealing with investors, sponsorship, partnerships, and most importantly, their babies, their brainchilds, their creations, their business. And I wanted to share this because some mistakes are too expensive. And one of those that we could learn from is from one of my favorites, Kanye West, right? And his deal with Twitter, with Gap, and then Elon Musk, who's also an innovator of our generation with Twitter. It's so imperative that you realize not to give up the following things I'm about to share with you. Some of the things that you need clarity, especially if you are someone who is a big time YouTuber or someone who has a TikTok channel and is blowing up, right? Eventually, you're going to get invited to sponsorship opportunities. And I've helped coach many people through different things, and also I've dealt with some things on my own as well. And so I want to give you some things to look out for when you are in the pool, because some of these deals are sharks, and investors themselves have told me certain things to look out for and what they look for, and even how they take away some of the power. When you get into a deal with an investor, you got to realize that it is a great opportunity for money, right? At the same time, there's an exchange. And so nobody gets into a deal unless they feel they can get something out of it. And it is very imperative that you know exactly what you bring to the table, and also that you know what you're given in exchange. All right. So one of the biggest things, especially when you go into publicly traded companies and you have sponsorships, you become a pawn and a number. You're exchanging numbers. All right. How many viewers are you getting? How many likes are you getting? How much engagement are you getting? How many eyes are you getting? Like, how much response to the market are you getting? Or what is the potential that you bring to the market, your market share? And those are the negotiating points. Now, I'm going to go into the following steps that most entrepreneurs make before we even get to this, when the deal goes through, when they literally are negotiating. It is so important that you have the foresight and the insight, because like I said, the best way to go into these deals is to cut your learning curve in half, and that's exactly what I intend to do in today's video. So make sure you tune in to the end. I promise you've never heard this before, not like this, because we're gonna spit it straight raw and straight through. So follow with me. Number one, stop taking dates with anybody that comes your way. What happens is a lot of people end up just settling for it's like getting into a record deal. That's why you hear a lot of these artists upset, like Haysha or whatever, like in different deals. Like, there's so many artists that get written off because they signed to the wrong record labels. Same thing with business. Make sure you're not signing to a record label that is taking away your creation. You created this business, you created this brainchild, right? So that you have autonomy and control over what you're doing. And at the end of the day, you're an artist and a creative. And that is why Kanye West should have never signed with a corporate company, because there's a lot of different things. You're a pawn. And that is something, like, he made the same mistake. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Kanye fan. However, what you have to realize is that Kanye West is a creative. He is someone who doesn't like to be controlled. He's an artist that is just like a genius in what he's doing. And signing with Gap, right, was somewhat just like when he signed in with record labels, where he felt like he was a pawn. He didn't have control over his creative genius. His creative genius was limited, taken advantage of, right? And another example in that is Twitter and Elon Musk. I feel like Elon Musk, somewhat gave away his control and focus. The biggest and most expensive thing you can lose in this journey is your focus and direction. So, number one is many people tend to lose sight of their vision and their mission. What do you see happening, right, with what it is you create as a reason of what you created? Like Kanye West states in the video, in his declaration with the news station, that he felt there were so many red flags that he caught on to, them not respecting pricing points, them not, holding true to the value that he brought, and them upcharging the value of what he negotiated with them, right? Which is like a breach of contract. At the same time, he's also been publicly using his social power, which is the most powerful thing you have as a creative, when you have true supporters, when you have people that really follow. That's why I say focus on, building connections and not just followers. Followers just follow. But supporters and people who really, really believe in what you got to have, your vision, are going to be the ones that stick with you. And that's what he did. He used his bargaining power, his social market value to get them. And that's how he got the deal, right? So be very mindful of losing sight of your mission, your vision. Number two, make sure that you don't just take everything that comes your way. Make sure that it's in alignment with your values. Make sure you're getting exactly what you need out of the deal. And you're not just taking whoever comes in your inbox and says, hey, we're going to offer you this. Another thing is, people don't realize this, and I used to be an auditor, and I audited Fortune 100 publicly traded companies. I've seen a lot of different things in my years of business, and what I see and what I learned, right? Because a lot of the extent of what I do in accounting and auditing was dealing with contracts, auditing and evaluating the processes and the systems, right? And a lot of these things have these policies and procedures that are to be followed. And I've dealt with private equity, investors, and all those things. And at the end of the day, it comes to those contractual agreements, to what adheres in the contract, which I talked about in the past video about, legalities and things like that. Make sure you check that out if you haven't already. At the same time, you don't want to give away your power. So a lot of the times, many creatives get caught up in the numbers of the dollar amount, right? Now, don't get me wrong, that is great, but make sure you don't get yourself trapped in a deal, all right? It's like literally trapping yourself and holding yourself off from other opportunities as you continue to grow. So one of the things that I advised someone who came to me when they had different sponsorship opportunities was to make sure that they don't release their power. Because what the sponsorship was trying to do, right, was they were trying to make sure that that person sticks to them and no one else. And what that was going to do was limit other opportunities that he has as his brand continues to grow. You want to make sure you don't do that. So what you want to make sure you do is tweak and negotiate the terms, not just the dollars. Because what happens is you cut off opportunity costs. And just because you're getting a certain amount of money up front doesn't mean that you can't get tomorrow's money. So stop thinking about just right this moment. You have to have that vision for looking beyond the moment, opportunity costs. And that's what a lot of these brands and sponsors see. If they didn't believe in your potential and your growth, they would not be coming to the door knocking. Another thing is making sure that you know why you're valuable. Making sure you know how to sell. A lot of the times people make the mistakes of watering down their brand or allowing others to water down what they bring to the table. Therefore, you need to know your market share. You need to know your potential market share, right? And you also need to be able to determine your unique value proposition. What is that? Your unique value proposition is literally what makes you unique and different from the rest. What do you bring to the table? How do you do things differently? Who are you? What do you do? What do you offer? What are the benefits, the perks of working with you? And why do people come to you? Make sure that you're not just doing a pitch deck. Make sure that your pitch deck has a business plan for longevity so that they see that you're not just some rookie, all right? Most importantly, stay true to your vision, your mission, and what it is you intend to do. Do not allow people to come in and take away what it is you created, because I promise you, if you don't negotiate, and come correct, people will come to take away what is yours. And you do not want that, right? So make sure that you follow those steps. Make sure that you negotiate the terms. Get a lawyer. Make sure you have an attorney involved. Make sure before you even go to an attorney that you know exactly what it is that you want to accomplish in this deal. Like one of the things I negotiated or I discussed and advised someone in a sponsorship opportunity, because they had two different sponsorship deals, right, that were coming their ways, and they're making thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm talking about in several figures. I can't go into detail. However, what I told them was, hey, so pretty much what they're saying is you must give exclusive rights. Instead, license yourself out. What does that mean? What licensing means is you're giving somebody rights, but you're not giving them full ownership. So to clarify, what I'm saying is make sure that you're not limiting yourself. So what I advised to him was to tell them you'll take less money. This way it's a win-win for everyone, right? How do you create a win-win for everyone? That's how you win in business. Create a win-win situation. Hey, I'll take a little less just so I can reserve my rights. How do you do that? Instead of paying me this much, I'll take this much, right? This is how you find that sweetener in the middle. And I am still open to being able to take on other businesses and just saying what you're willing to do, right? And in exchange for what you're gonna get. That's how you create bargaining power. And that will help you have longevity, because now you can have the best of both worlds. You can have your cake and eat it too. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to limit yourself to one thing. That's how you end up getting in deals where people control your art and you can't get out of it, and you're stuck until it depletes and it's over, and concludes. And as that goes, time sinks and goes away, and time is your most valuable thing. All right. If you found this video valuable and you found it useful, please make sure you click that subscription please make sure that you click that like button and comment below what you found valuable. Make sure that you subscribe to the Creative Fam if you're not already a part of it. We go deep, we talk about mindset, skill set, and we also share other stories of other creatives. And we also invite individuals like you on their journey to come join us and apply to share their story with our viewers. Thank you for watching this. I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. One love. Peace.